Chapter 32.
May I come ashore?
Alter said, on behalf of the queen.
Please do.
Sowen replied. The sun had climbed the sky ladder and shone on the queen's form with all its brightness. She was beautiful in scale and form, cut from rose quartz. She walked the sand beach with her wings, whose strength surprised all of them. Her head and body were almost as large as obsidian's, but her wings were much smaller, her tail nearly half as long. As she came up toward them, all of them were well aware that all she needed to do was stop time and incinerate them with one long breath. That was all she needed to do to win. Their only hope was that Obsidian would someone protect them, but in every one of their minds, they knew his protection was not guaranteed against this particular demon.
You seem wary,
the queen announced. Suddenly, and to everyone's surprise, they could understand her. She wasn't using sonar to communicate.
I am not here to stir trouble. Quite the opposite.
She looked at Soan.
Am I here too early?
No, it is fine. We thought you would come tonight. But now is perfect.
Soan bowed slightly after he spoke.
We are curious, though. How did you learn our language so quickly?
I always knew your language. I just chose not to use it.
All of them looked at one another, scrambling to think if they ever said anything that could have been unseemly with respect to the queen, or perhaps confidential information.
Any other questions about my language abilities?
No.
Soan replied.
Good,
the queen said.
I was hoping to spend some time with Obsidian, alone.
She turned to Obsidian.
Would you take a walk with me down the beach? I'll swim. You walk.
I would like that,
Obsidian said, in a quiet, somewhat reluctant voice. The two turned and walked toward the sea. The queen settled into the water while Obsidian walked, with some difficulty, on the wet sand.
Your friend, Sowen, says you are shy. I've never known dragons of your size to be shy. Why is this so?
I am not shy around most creatures. I believe it is you, perhaps only you.
And why is that?
I am in awe of you.
Ah. Well, that is good, isn't it?
I don't know, it makes me feel, vulnerable.
And you're not used to that kind of feeling, are you?
There was a long pause when neither of them said anything. The queen took the silence as her answer and smiled to herself.
Have you ever been in the sea?
She asked. Obsidian shook his head.
Never. I would surely drown if I did.
Mount me,
she suddenly demanded.
I want to show you something.
Obsidian stopped in his tracks and turned to face her.
What exactly are you asking me to do?
Get on my back and I will carry you to my island.
You cannot support me,
Obsidian objected.
I will sink to the bottom.
Nonsense. I am stronger than you think, and this water is quite buoyant. I can do it. Come on, get on my back.
It was said as a commandment. Obsidian started to come toward her, and then stopped just before putting his feet in the water.
Why don't you jump aboard my back, and I will fly us to your island?
You could support my weight?
The queen's head suddenly tilted in surprise, the kind of surprise that made room for admiration. He looked at her carefully. Half of her body was below the waterline.
I think so.
The queen looked suddenly mischievous.
I would like to try. Flying has always been my dream.
Then let's try.
She lumbered out of the water. Obsidian leaned toward her, lowering himself as close to the sand as he could. She climbed on his back as carefully as she could and fell off the first time. Hunter came running down the beach, spear in hand, and Obsidian suddenly realized they probably thought that he and the queen were having some kind of battle. The second time she tried to get on, it seemed to work better, and Obsidian encouraged her to wrap her wings around his body. He began to flap his wings, and everything seemed okay. Hunter slowly came to a stop as obsidian began to run down the beach, and his huge wings began to do their magic. The two dragons lifted off into the sky with more grit than grace. It was a good thing that the wind on that particular day was quiet, and the updrafts were powerful and certain. The queen was speechless as they continued their ascent. Her head swung from side to side like a pendulum.
This is amazing. This is better than I even imagined it would be.
We still have to land, and that might be a little more, well, not to your liking.
That's okay. After this experience, I don't care.
Back on the beach, the travelers watched in silence, wondering if their fates had improved or worsened.